All right, Shalom. This is the Watcher. Also go by Michigan area Yasharala, which Yasharala means Israel. Coming out here once again to preach this gospel and also teach who the children of Israel are, which are the Negroes that are scattered throughout the earth. All right. Today's session is going to be mainly about. I'm gonna call this session Super Bowl weekend session. From the last few sessions, the topics, the titles has just mainly been about like the events, the holidays that's been taking place, okay? And I haven't been coming out here from day to day, week to week, right? Matter of fact, the last time I was out here preaching this word was about a month ago during the Martin Luther King Day celebration, mainly because of the weather, okay? But it doesn't matter, you know, if you don't come out every week, you know, you take a few weeks off. Some things are just some things that is you can't it's not in your control, okay? It's up to the Most High. But as long as the word gets out and whoever receives it, okay? And like I said, this session is going to be about the Super Bowl day, the Super Bowl event that's going to take place here tomorrow, okay? Before I get started, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, peace and blessings to you, Akim and you, Aqua, brothers and sisters who come to know this truth, and he's seeking the Heavenly Father to the return of the Son. All right? As I was saying, the Super Bowl celebration, a main event. This is the last football game of the season. One of the major events here in America dealing with sports. Okay? It truly should be a holiday, the way it's celebrated, the way it's like it's a major event. Everybody's getting ready for it, the big game. Get a lot of snacks and alcohol. Okay, that's what this place is, man. It's just a place of folliness, a place where you celebrate whatever, you party to whatever, you drink to whatever. Okay, work all week. Put in that 8 hours or 10 from Monday, Friday, and after that, what? It's party time, okay? You turn any and everything into a party, okay? And sports is just folly itself, okay? Sports means for show, entertainment. That's what you athletes are. You athletes that play on various of teams that are that you're a professional football player, a professional basketball player, baseball player, tennis, etc. Okay, you're just set up for entertainment. That's it. For show, amusement. Okay? I brought this out last year. But if there are certain brothers and sisters that are in this truth, you know that, hey, being in this truth is a journey, so you constantly keep going over the same subjects over and over again. Okay? Teaching the lessons. This football celebration, this major event that's about to take place, this is how you know that this is the Roman Empire all over again. Okay? You professional pray for these teams that are throughout America, these states that are owned by rich Jewish men. You're just a modern day gladiator. You're a sport. You're set up for amusement. You're just like Richard Pryor in the movie Toy. Okay? Richard Pryor was bought by a rich so-called white man for his son, for him to be amusement to his son. All right? He was goofy, wacky. It was all in the form of humiliation. Okay? And I'm not saying it's not necessarily a bad thing for you to play professional sports. It is what it is. That's your God-given talent. But just know that, hey, that's all you are. Okay? But as I was saying, that's how you know this is the modern day rule all over again. All right? Start off with my first scripture. Salaki, brothers and sisters. Sit there, go to the book. All right, this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, and I'm gonna start. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. There's nothing new. These sporting events that takes place here in America and throughout the whole earth. Okay? But we're just going to deal with America. Okay? The stadiums, those are the modern day coliseums. Okay? The way it's built, the structure, it goes back into the Roman Empire. It even goes back into the time of the Greeks. That's where the Olympics come from. During the Greek rule. Okay? And from there on, all the way up until the Roman Empire. Where they would have major events. The events were worse than what you see today. Not saying that, like if you play football, you can't get physically hurt, badly hurt, to where you can't never walk again. You can also get put to death, okay? These MMA matches, boxing. You can get put to death. You can get put to death for that. But back during the Roman Empire, that's truly what it was about, death. You go in, you go in, you either survive or you die. That's it. You go up against someone, your opponent, either you or him is coming out of that arena. Only one man. You would fight to the death. Just like you seen in Gladiator. They would go up in these arenas, or the Coliseums, and they would fight to the death. Okay? Big brute men. Just like you see today. Just like these NFL players and these basketball players. They have a great statue. They're very built. Like you see bodybuilders, they're very athletic. Okay? So that's what these men are today. The modern day gladiators. And that's how you know this is modern day Rome all over again. Alright? Modern day Egypt, modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, modern day Babylon. What do all these empires have in common? They were wicked. Everything that's happening today happened back then. That's why the LGBT community is so well known, and how transgender is so popular. For a man to be involved with another man is very popular. It's hip. It's to be considered as a good thing. All right. All right, back at Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9 again. The thing that has been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. All right, I'm gonna jump. Down. Matter of fact, okay, I'm gonna continue reading. Verse 10, is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It had been already of old time, which was before us. So these sporting events is nothing new. It's just different, I guess, how I can say games, okay? Games that they come up with. The way the sport is played, the rules, okay? The way they come, they set the sport up. All right? It's like when you brought into this world, and you start playing in these sporting events, you know how the sport is played and you know how things are done, okay? That's pretty much the only thing that's new. But the arenas, the gladiators, the men that play in these sporting events, there's nothing new under the sun, man. It happened already. It happened before. It's just done all over again. All right? This is the modern day Roman Empire all over again. Okay? These presidents that you see are the modern day Caesars. The modern day pharaohs. And like I said earlier, what do they all have in common? They're wicked. All these laws that they set up, all these laws here in America is set up against the so-called Negro here in America, okay? constitutions and amendments, the laws, it was all set up against us. That's why we're in the position that we're in, man. There's nothing that we can truly do against this country. We can only do for it. Work, do what we gotta do to pay our bills and take care of our family. Hell, we're here to be the bad guy. We're here to be the enemy. That's why we fill up the prison houses. When we know that the ones that came over here and made this country to what it is, they're the real criminals. That hasn't gotten paid back for what they've done to the so-called Negroes and the so-called Latinos and the Native Americans. But soon they're gonna receive their judgment. But for now, everything's all good. Okay? Sloppy. All right, back at Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 11. There is no remembrance of the former things, neither shall, let me go back to verse 10, Salaki. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? They have been already of old time, which was before us. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. Okay? Meaning, when you come into this world, all right, there's truly no remembrance of what happened back in past times. Okay? From what your fathers did back then. All right? But the Lord said He's going to put us back into remembrance. Okay? Meaning, it's gonna things that are done here in America, okay? It's gonna be similar to what was done back then, and it's gonna be planted within our spirit. Okay, coming into this truth is just going to be something that you just feel that it's going to be right. This is right. This is the truth. And with the help of the scriptures, it'll come into your remembrance. But truly, when someone like your father, when he dies, and you know he spilled his seed, he spilled his seed. He put his seed in a woman, all right, which becomes his wife, and then she has the man child, all right. So you are your father's father, and when you come into the world, there's truly no remembrance of the things that was done in past times, all right? Or what your father been through, okay? But you're going to do the same thing as what your father did. Not 100%, not the complete, but you're going to do what your father did. You live through your father's eyes, okay? That's why people always say you may have done something, or the type of things that you like, the type of women you date, what are you into, what are you involved in. People be like, hey, you just like your father. You do things just like your father. You sing just like your father. You talk just like your father. You fight just like your father, okay? says there's no new thing under the sun. All right, everything's just is done over again. Okay, this area that we see is still here, but it's just new buildings or new stores. Okay, who knows? Maybe 50 years ago, CVS wasn't CVS. It was named something else. Okay, because drugstores have been here a long time. They was just renamed. All right. Who knows? These gas stations weren't here. If they were, they probably would have named something else, or the building was smaller. Who knows? The area is still here, but the people that were once here are gone. The people here that were in that time are gone. All this here is the seed from their fathers. Okay? It's a lot. Back at verse 11, there is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of the things that are to come, with those that shall come after. Salakia. Let me read that over again. There is no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come, with those that shall come after. I, the preacher, was king over Israel in Jerusalem. And I gave my heart to seek and search out my wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. This soul travail have God given to the sons of men to be exercised therewith. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun. And behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. Okay? These sporting events, like the Super Bowl, that's taking place tomorrow, it's a vexation of spirit. Why? Because it's folly. Just a bunch of men in tights clashing at each other, hurting each other, can put each other in the hospital. For what? For amusement and excitement. For rich, wealthy people. Mainly, who are those people? The so-called Jewish, who are not the real Jews. They buy these, they become owners of these teams, buy the arenas, stadiums, okay, and hire these coaches, buy all this equipment. Then they go out here to these ghettos and slums. And who do they get to play for? So-called Negroes, big black men, all right? That come from the poorest environment. And they set you up to play for them. They put you on auction blocks, just like they did back in hardcore slavery. Just like as you've seen in Mandingo and Drum. Okay, and Django. That's all you are to them. That's, as a people, that's all we are to our oppressor, to our slave masters. Nothing just but entertainment. We the greatest entertainers on the planet Earth. The best singers, dancers, boxers, football players, basketball players, baseball players, soccer players, golf players, tennis players. And the whole world, different nationalities throughout the whole world, look up so-called events. Men like Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, Michael Jackson, okay? The Williams sisters, Tiger Woods, hell, the dancers. The dances that they do over there in Asia, where did that come from? Break dancing, it started out in the Bronx, okay? In New York. Pop locking, well, the pop locking started off in the West Coast. But the break dancing, back spins, you put out the board, and you do the little foot shuffles and the head back spins, that came from New York, man. That came from Negroes and Latinos, all right? The beginning of hip hop, what we know as hip hop, that's where it came from, okay? The greatest entertainers on the planet Earth, the best people on the planet Earth, okay? That's why, like I said, that's why, it's locked. That's why these coaches from these big college universities, they get their scouts, and where do they go to? They go to a poorest environment, the ghettos and slums, like like the Bronx or Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, okay, Queens, Harlem, all right, New Jersey, Boston. They go to Atlanta. What they call it out there? Dang, I forgot those areas out there in Atlanta. What they call Bankhead, or what else? Can't remember. But they go to Atlanta. You got Texas, the 5th Ward, 9th Ward, Louisiana, New Orleans, Cali, Chicago. All right, they go to the most poorest areas, toughest areas as well, okay? And who do they get? Black men and black women, all right? Because you got the WNBA. To make a great team, all right? So they can be the best team out the football league or out the basketball league, all right? Slovakia. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto Yahweh thy power. Yahweh thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Okay? So that we the best at what we do. Okay, like I said, the greatest entertainers on the planet Earth. That's why who you see on the football fields, mainly Negroes. The whole league is flooded with Negro players, man. The NBA, you might as well change the name of the NBA. Negro Basketball Association. Okay? That's all you see on the court. You may see one or two white men here and there. Okay? A few Europeans. Some people that are out from South America. Okay? But who floods the basketball courts? So-called black men, Negroes, man. They say we are the superior athlete. Why? Because you can get a guy, somebody like Allen Iverson, who's only what, 6 foot, 160 pounds, skinny, no type of muscle tone. He don't even look like an athlete. But he's one of the best, greatest athletes known to men. Here it is, he's 6 foot, playing a 2 guard. That's a position that's for somebody that's 6'4" and up. 6 foot, between 6'4" and 6'7". Like Michael Jordan. For his height and his size, he should have been the point guard, but he played the 2 guard, and he played it very well. Okay? That's just because we had a spirit of the Lord in us. That's why you have somebody like Mariah Carey who sings, man, who sings like an angel. That's the saying. Whitney Houston, okay? Greatest people on the planet Earth. Greatest entertainers. That's what sport is. Sport means amusement, okay? Go back to Ecclesiastes. That's truly why we can't get ahead. Why? Because we got too many entertainers and not enough leaders. And the leaders that we do have, they full of crap. They sell out just as fast as the entertainers. You may have some entertainers that may speak up, but if they speak up too loud and too much, they'll get their riches taken away from them, their fame. Because truly they're nobody. When they first came into the league, or when they first started making their first record deal, they were just nobody. There was nothing, poor. Look at most of the entertainers before they started their stardom. Before they became famous, they just looked like a regular person. Michael Jackson was just a little boy who had a voice of gold that just came out of Gary, Indiana, who became the greatest star ever. Okay? And everybody on the planet wanted to be just like Michael Jackson. Wanted to look like him, act like him, and dance like him. says, a holy people, a special people unto the Lord himself, above all nations. Why? Because the Lord chose us, and he gave us the laws and statutes and commandments to keep, to uphold, and for all the other nations to fall in line. Just think about it. Look at the world today. It's in the worst condition that has ever been. It has ever been. Okay? Why? Because look who's in power. Look at the laws that are set up. Hell, a lot of these new sporting events, these new sporting events that we're seeing here on the internet, them are the most stupidest sporting events I ever seen in my life. How you gonna sit up there and get paid just to get smacked in your face? Dumbest sporting events I ever seen in my life. Made it a league for two people just to stand there and get slapped for the world to see. Some people get knocked the hell out. Stand there and just getting slapped. That's the dumbest shit I ever seen, man. But slocky. Back to the Ecclesiastes. Back at Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 14. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. Okay, it says vanity and vexation of spirit. Because once a lot of these celebrities, once they become famous and get all this rich and fame and glory, they become vain. Start acting like they all that. And they sell their souls for fame. They go all out. Sign these contracts, and what they do? They do the deeds of their father, which is the devil. Start misleading the little children and people that look up to them. Okay? Because they emulate their idol, which what the Lord tells us, not to have no God before him. And that's what a lot of these celebrities are set up to be, idols. And the scripture says, vexation of spirit is very vexing, meaning it's upsetting to know that's what's going on here in this modern day Babylon, Egypt. Rome, okay? Rome is the last empire to be set before the Lord makes his return to deliver his children, deliver his people up out of their captivity, okay? Brothers and sisters, this is going to be the only video that I make because of the time that I have. All right. So. At verse 16, I consume with my heart, saying, Lo, I am come to great estate, and have gotten more wisdom than all they that have been before me in Jerusalem. Yea, my heart have great experience of wisdom and knowledge. And I gave my heart to know wisdom, and to know madness and folly. And I perceived that this also is vexation of spirit. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. At one time, when you didn't have this knowledge and wisdom, you were just like everyone else. Didn't know anything. Okay? But you were glad to be wicked, all right? Because when you didn't have this knowledge and wisdom, you were involved in all sorts of things that were wicked. Okay? But now that you come to know this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you're in grief. Okay? Sorrow. Why? Because of the things that you've done and the things that you've seen and what's taking place now. It hurts you to know that you're against the Father. And you also seeing what's taking place, like this Super Bowl event that's about to take place. All right, it's BS, it's folly. And it keeps our people distracted by the real things that are taking place. Okay, and what's being said is that the two teams that are playing, you got the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. What's being said is they already know what team is going to win. Before the game is even broadcast. Okay? They got the score and everything. Somebody put out a photo about who's gonna win the Super Bowl. They already know who's gonna win. Got the score and everything. You see, it's all BS, man. Folly. It's a distraction. Okay. All right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 11. I'm gonna start at verse 7. No, I'll just go to 8. Revelation, chapter 11, verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Salakia, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. Okay? Which mainly this is talking about during the time of Yahushua. All right? became wicked. All right. And that's what we have here today here in America. It's the same as where it was back then. All right. Jerusalem with our people. Okay. But this is mainly Sodom and Gomorrah all over again. Sodom and Egypt. Okay. Rome. That's what you have. That's what you have here. Sodomites. And Egyptians. Why? Because during the time of the Most High delivering us up out of Egypt, you had our people. They wanted to stay. They wanted to go back to Egypt. When the Most High delivered his people up out of captivity and when they dwelt in the wilderness, they had grown tired. And they said it had been better for us to be back into Egypt. Okay? And that's what you have here today. A bunch of Sodomites and Egyptians. And what do they both have in common? They were destroyed. Because that's what Sodom means, destruction. Okay? That's what the Bible refers Sodom to, and Egypt as well, destruction. Okay? Because they were both a wicked place, and in Egypt we were slaves. And just like we were slaves in Egypt, we're slaves here in America. Matter of fact, throughout the whole earth. Okay? So also truly that's what you can say as well. Just the whole earth itself is referred to as Sodom and Egypt. Why? Because of the rulership. Because who's on top right now? The so-called European Caucasian. All right? But Salaki brothers and sisters, like I said, this is going to be just on one video, all right? Mainly because of the time that I have. All right, so I'm gonna just end it off right there. To sum everything up, there's nothing new under the sun. Okay? Modern day sports players, athletes, you're the modern day gladiators of today. Okay? And these sports that take place here in America, the same thing that goes on here in America took place back in ancient times. All right? During the Roman Empire. So there's nothing new under the sun. All right? So that's how you know this is the modern day Rome, modern day Egypt, modern day Babylon, Sodom and Gomorrah, all in one. Okay? And soon the Lord is going to come, make his return, and deliver his people up out of this captivity that we're in. All right? So with that, I just want to give once again all praise to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Peace and blessings to you, Akim and you, Aqua, for brothers and you sisters. Continue to seek the Heavenly Father with long suffering, patience, and diligence. And with that, just say shalom.